Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take a moment and really hear me today, because what I'm about to share could change the way you see your journey. How many of you have ever felt like you were on your own? Like no one was cheering for you, no one was holding your hand, and sometimes it felt like the whole world had forgotten you. Well, I want you to know something right now. God, the universe, your inner strength, whatever you believe in, has not forgotten you. In fact, this moment, this very challenge is setting the stage for your breakthrough. Today we're going to talk about how to get ahead even when no one is there for you. How to rise above the doubts, the setbacks, and the loneliness, and still walk boldly into the life you've always dreamed of. Because let me tell you this, your destiny is bigger than your circumstances. And the very thing that seems like a disadvantage can become your greatest advantage. Believe in your own strength when no one else does. This is perhaps one of the most important truths you can hold on to in your journey to success. There will be moments in life when the world feels cold, when friends and family fail to understand your vision, and when the people you once trusted seem to turn their backs on you. In these moments, it's easy to doubt yourself, to question your abilities, and to wonder if you are truly capable of achieving what you set out to do. But here's the reality. Strength does not come from the approval of others. True strength is discovered when you face the silence of the world and still move forward. It is forged in the quiet moments, in the hours spent alone working towards your dreams, in the times when you push through fear, doubt, and uncertainty without expecting recognition or applause. Believing in yourself is not about arrogance. It's about acknowledging that inside you lies a well of potential, courage, and resilience that no one else can take away. When no one is there to lift you up, you must become your own cheerleader. You must learn to speak words of encouragement to yourself, to celebrate even the smallest victories, and to remind yourself daily that you are capable of greatness. This belief in your own strength is not just a mindset. It is a practice. It is something you cultivate through persistence, through discipline, and through a refusal to let the absence of support define your progress. Every time you choose to keep going when others would quit, every time you take a step forward despite fear, you are proving to yourself that your strength is real. You are teaching yourself that your worth is not dependent on external validation. Consider the great leaders, entrepreneurs, and pioneers throughout history. Many of them started with no one believing in them, no one seeing the potential they carried, and no one willing to invest in their dreams. Yet they succeeded because they believed in themselves first. They understood that the voice inside, the quiet confidence, and the unwavering commitment to their vision were more powerful than any doubt cast by the outside world. When you learn to believe in your own strength, you align yourself with a force that cannot be shaken by the opinions, doubts, or disbelief of others. You begin to realize that your journey is yours alone, and it is uniquely equipped with the skills, talents, and resilience needed to achieve your purpose. Believing in your own strength also means embracing responsibility. It means taking ownership of your life, your choices, and your outcomes. It means acknowledging that while support from others is wonderful, it is not required for you to succeed. The moment you internalize this truth, you unlock a freedom and power that few ever experience. You are no longer limited by the availability of encouragement or the presence of allies. You are empowered by your own commitment to yourself, by your faith in your abilities, and by your refusal to let circumstances dictate your potential. Moreover, believing in your own strength builds resilience. Life will always throw challenges your way. There will be setbacks, failures, and rejections. There will be times when the weight of the world seems unbearable, when every step forward feels exhausting, and when giving up appears to be the easiest option. But the more you rely on your inner strength, the more resilient you become. You learn to view challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to grow, to refine your skills, and to prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. Every challenge overcome is a testament to your strength, a a reminder that you have everything within you to succeed, even when no one else believes it. Believing in your own strength is also a source of inspiration to others. When people witness someone moving forward with confidence despite a lack of support, they are naturally drawn to that energy. They are inspired by the courage, determination, and self-reliance that radiates from someone who refuses to be defined by the opinions of others. By cultivating this belief, you not only empower yourself, but you create a ripple effect, encouraging others to tap into their own inner strength and to pursue their dreams relentlessly. At its core, believing in your own strength is about trust. Trust in your abilities, trust in your decisions, and trust in the path you are walking. It requires patience, commitment, and a willingness to stand alone when necessary. It requires the understanding that true power comes from within, that your potential is not dependent on others, and that your belief in yourself is the most reliable source of motivation you will ever have. Use setbacks as stepping stones to your success. Life has a way of testing us, of presenting challenges that seem insurmountable, and of throwing obstacles in our path just when we feel we are gaining momentum. At first glance, setbacks can feel like failures, like signs that we are not good enough, or that the universe is against us. But the truth is that every setback carries within it the seeds of opportunity, growth, and transformation. It is not the setback itself that defines you. It is how you respond to it that shapes your destiny. Those who achieve greatness are not those who avoid challenges, but those who use them as fuel, who turn what seems like a defeat into a platform for progress. When faced with a setback, the first step is perspective. Instead of asking, "Why me?" or "What did I do wrong?" begin to ask, "What is this teaching me? And how can I grow from this experience?" Every challenge, no matter how painful, contains a lesson that can make you stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the opportunities ahead. Perhaps a project failed because you were missing a skill that you now have the chance to develop. Maybe a relationship ended because it was steering you toward a better future. Every setback is an invitation to reflect, to adapt, and to rise stronger than before. Using setbacks as stepping stones requires resilience and mindset. It is about choosing not to dwell in disappointment, not to allow frustration to take root, and not to let temporary failures define your long-term vision. Resilience is the bridge between difficulty and achievement. It is the ability to endure, to stay committed, and to continue taking steps forward even when the outcome is uncertain. Every time you face a setback and choose to keep moving, you are building the muscle of perseverance. You are training yourself to be unshakable, to remain focused on your goals despite adversity, and to trust that your persistence will eventually pay off. The process of turning setbacks into stepping stones also involves creativity and problem solving. When things don't go according to plan, you are forced to think differently, to explore new strategies, and to discover solutions that you might not have considered otherwise. Challenges push you out of your comfort zone, compel you to innovate, and encourage you to become resourceful. Each obstacle is a chance to refine your approach, to become more adaptable, and to strengthen the foundation on which your future success will be built. It is important to remember that setbacks are not permanent unless you allow them to be. Just because something doesn't work out today does not mean that your dream is unattainable. Often, the most significant achievements are the result of multiple failures, trial and error, and lessons learned along the way. Every rejection, every closed door, and every mistake is part of a larger journey that is preparing you for the moment when your breakthrough arrives. Those who succeed are not the ones who avoided difficulties, but those who embrace them, learn from them, and use them to propel themselves forward. Another crucial element of using setbacks as stepping stones is patience. Growth, success, and transformation do not happen overnight. Sometimes the lessons of a setback are not immediately clear. You may not see the path forward right away, and that can feel frustrating. But patience allows you to stay committed to your journey, to trust the process, and to keep taking steps even when the results are not yet visible. Over time, the accumulation of these small steps, lessons, and adjustments will lead to progress that is far more meaningful and lasting than any instant success. Setbacks also teach humility and self-awareness. They remind us that life is unpredictable, that perfection is impossible, and that mistakes are part of the learning process. By embracing this humility, you open yourself to growth, to feedback, and to opportunities that might have been overlooked otherwise. Each setback becomes a mirror reflecting areas where you can improve, refine, and become stronger. It allows you to develop not only skills and strategies, but also character, resilience, and emotional intelligence, all of which are essential for long-term success. Finally, the mindset of turning setbacks into stepping stones empowers you to redefine failure. When you see every challenge as a lesson, every obstacle as an opportunity, and every disappointment as a setup for a future victory, you no longer fear setbacks. Instead, you welcome them as a natural part of the journey toward achievement. You understand that the path to success is not linear, that every struggle contributes to your growth, and that setbacks are simply the stepping stones that lead you to the life you are destined to create. Develop resilience and never rely on external validation. In life, one of the most valuable qualities you can cultivate is resilience, the ability to bounce back from challenges, to keep moving forward in the face of adversity, and to maintain your focus and determination no matter what obstacles arise. Resilience is not something you are born with. It is something you build over time through practice, self-awareness, and the conscious decision to rise above difficulties. When you cultivate resilience, you become unshakable. You are no longer dependent on the opinions, approval, or support of others to define your worth or fuel your progress. Instead, your motivation comes from within, from the deep understanding that your life, your dreams, and your success are in your hands. External validation can feel comforting at times. A word of encouragement from a friend, a compliment from a colleague, or recognition from a leader can make us feel seen and appreciated. But if we depend on these external sources to sustain our confidence or drive, we place our happiness and success in the hands of others. What happens when those voices are silent? What happens when the applause doesn't come, when support is absent, or when criticism overshadows praise? If we have not developed resilience, these moments can derail us, causing self-doubt, frustration, and even paralysis. But when resilience is cultivated, the absence of external validation no longer matters because you have learned to trust yourself, to rely on your inner strength, and to stay committed to your goals regardless of who is watching or cheering. Building resilience requires mental and emotional discipline. It requires learning to manage your thoughts, your emotions, and your reactions to the challenges that life inevitably presents. Instead of allowing difficulties to overwhelm you, resilience teaches you to face them head on, to analyze the situation, and to respond with clarity, strength, and purpose. It is about embracing discomfort as part of growth, understanding that every struggle carries lessons, and recognizing that each obstacle you overcome adds to your capacity to handle even greater challenges in the future. Resilience transforms setbacks into opportunities, criticism into guidance, and isolation into self-reliance. Another essential aspect of resilience is self-belief. When you have confidence in your abilities, your vision, and your determination, you are less likely to be swayed by the opinions of others. You begin to understand that the most important voice in your life is your own. You are capable of achieving greatness, not because someone else says so, but because you believe it is possible, because you are willing to put in the work, and because you refuse to quit when obstacles arise. This self-reliance is what enables you to keep moving forward, even when the world around you seems indifferent or discouraging. Resilience also involves adaptability. Life rarely goes exactly as planned. Circumstances change, opportunities shift, and unexpected challenges arise. Resilient people understand that flexibility is essential to survival and success. They are willing to adjust their strategies, pivot when necessary, and approach problems with creativity and resourcefulness. They see change not as a threat, but as a chance to grow, to learn, and to discover new paths to their goals. By remaining adaptable, you strengthen your resilience and increase your capacity to thrive, even in situations that feel uncertain or overwhelming. Importantly, resilience is cultivated through action. It is not enough to simply tell yourself to be strong or to hope that challenges will pass. You must take deliberate steps to develop your mental toughness, to face fears, and to confront difficulties rather than avoid them. Each time you push through discomfort, each time you persevere despite obstacles, and each time you remain committed when support is lacking, you reinforce your resilience. You are proving to yourself that you are capable, that you can handle adversity, and that your success is not dependent on external circumstances, but on your own persistence and determination. Finally, resilience encourages a long-term perspective. When you stop seeking constant validation from others, you free yourself to focus on your own growth, your own goals, and your own path. You understand that life is a marathon, not a sprint, and that success is built over time through consistent effort, discipline, and unwavering commitment. Resilience allows you to weather the storms, to learn from mistakes, and to continue moving forward with confidence, knowing that your inner strength and self-belief will carry you through any challenge. Developing resilience and refusing to rely on external validation is not always easy. It requires self-reflection, courage, and persistence. It demands that you confront your fears, overcome self-doubt, and trust in your ability to navigate life's uncertainties. But as you cultivate this mindset, you will find that you become more confident, more focused, and more empowered. You will no longer be at the mercy of circumstances or opinions. Instead, you will be anchored in the knowledge that your power comes from within, and that no matter what challenges arise, you have everything you need to persevere, succeed, and thrive. Take consistent action, even in isolation. One of the most powerful truths about success is that it is built not on grand ideas alone, but on the persistent, focused steps we take every single day. Waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for someone to notice your potential, or waiting for the world to provide support is a trap that keeps countless people stagnant. The reality is that progress is achieved by those who take action, regardless of recognition or encouragement. Even when it feels like no one is watching, even when no one is cheering, every deliberate step you take brings you closer to your goals. Consistent action in isolation is the engine of achievement. It is the force that separates those who dream from those who accomplish, those who talk about change from those who live it. Taking action in isolation requires courage. It requires the willingness to move forward without the safety net of approval, without the comfort of external validation, and without the assurance of immediate results. It means trusting yourself, trusting your abilities, and trusting the vision that you hold even when no one else sees it. Many people hesitate to act because they fear failure, rejection, or criticism. They want the reassurance of others before they commit. But the truth is, the most significant achievements in history were born from action taken in solitude. While others waited for permission, the ones who succeeded were already working quietly, diligently, and persistently toward their goals. Consistency is the secret to transforming small efforts into monumental results. One action alone may seem insignificant, but repeated over time, it creates momentum. It builds habits, develops skills, and strengthens confidence. When you commit to daily action, you are effectively compounding your efforts. Each day becomes a building block, each task a step forward, and each challenge an opportunity to improve. This principle applies in every area of life, whether it is building a business, developing your skills, nurturing relationships, or improving your health. The cumulative effect of consistent action, even when done alone, is powerful beyond measure. Taking action in isolation also develops independence and self-reliance. When you cannot depend on others to push you, encourage you, or guide you, you learn to rely on yourself. You learn to trust your judgment, make decisions confidently, and take responsibility for the outcomes. This independence becomes a strength that carries you through challenges and uncertainties. The ability to act without waiting for support ensures that your progress is not at the mercy of others' schedules, opinions, or availability. You become the master of your journey, the driver of your success, and the architect of your future. It is also important to recognize that action requires intentionality. Moving without purpose can lead to wasted effort, frustration, and burnout. Consistent action is most effective when guided by a clear vision, specific goals, and a strategic plan. It is not about being busy for the sake of being busy. It is about being deliberate, focused, and disciplined. Every step you take should align with your objectives, reflect your values, and move you closer to the outcomes you desire. When your actions are intentional, even moments of isolation become opportunities for growth, learning, and progress. Taking action in isolation builds resilience. You will inevitably face setbacks, doubts, and moments of discouragement. When you act alone, you confront these challenges head on. You learn to persevere without relying on someone else to motivate you or lift your spirits. Each obstacle you overcome strengthens your character, reinforces your commitment, and proves to yourself that you are capable of achieving more than you ever imagined. The confidence gained through consistent action alone is unmatched because it comes from direct experience, from proving to yourself that you can move forward even when circumstances are difficult. Moreover, taking action in isolation allows for deep focus and creativity. Without the distractions of others' opinions, expectations, or input, you can think more clearly, explore innovative solutions, and experiment with strategies that align with your vision. Isolation becomes a space for introspection, for refining your skills, and for discovering your unique strengths. Many of the world's most influential creators, innovators, and leaders achieved greatness because they were willing to act, experiment, and persist in solitude, trusting the process even when no one else understood their path. Finally, taking consistent action, even when no one is there to witness it, instills a profound sense of empowerment. You realize that your success does not depend on others. It depends on your willingness to commit, to persevere, and to move forward. You learn that progress is not about waiting for opportunities to appear, but about creating them through your efforts. Each step you take, no matter how small, becomes a declaration of your determination and your refusal to be held back by circumstances. The habit of action in isolation ensures that when opportunities do arise, you are prepared, capable, and ready to seize them with confidence. Surround yourself with positivity, even if it's self-generated. In life, the energy you allow into your mind and heart has a profound impact on the direction of your journey. We often think that positivity comes from external sources, friends who uplift us, mentors who guide us, or circumstances that favor us. But the truth is, the most powerful positivity comes from within. When no one is there to encourage you, when the world feels indifferent or even hostile, it is your responsibility to cultivate an environment of hope, confidence, and inspiration within yourself. This inner positivity becomes the foundation upon which resilience, action, and success are built. It is the quiet force that drives you forward when the path feels lonely, the anchor that keeps you steady during storms, and the light that illuminates your way when darkness surrounds you. Self-generated positivity begins with your thoughts. The mind is incredibly powerful. It can either lift you to heights you never imagined or anchor you in despair. When challenges arise, it is easy to slip into negative thinking, to focus on what is going wrong, or to dwell on obstacles rather than solutions. But the resilient, successful person chooses a different path. They consciously focus on what is possible, on what they can control, and on the opportunities that lie hidden within difficulties. They replace self-doubt with self-affirmation, fear with courage, and worry with determination. Each positive thought is a brick in the foundation of strength. Each encouraging word to yourself is a spark of energy that propels you forward. By training your mind to generate positivity, you create a self-sustaining source of motivation that does not depend on anyone else's approval or recognition. The words you speak to yourself are equally important. Self-talk shapes your beliefs, your confidence, and your emotional state. When you consciously choose words of encouragement, hope, and affirmation, you reinforce a mindset that is empowered and optimistic. Simple statements like, "I am capable," "I can handle this," or "I will find a way" may seem small, but repeated consistently, they transform your inner dialogue and shift your focus from limitations to possibilities. Even when no one else is cheering, these words become a form of companionship, a reminder that you are not alone because you are fully capable of supporting yourself. In addition to thoughts and words, positivity is cultivated through habits and actions. Surrounding yourself with uplifting routines, inspiring content, and empowering environments strengthens your inner state. Whether it's reading motivational books, listening to uplifting podcasts, engaging in creative activities, or spending time in reflection and gratitude, these practices reinforce a mindset of positivity. You are consciously choosing to feed your mind and heart with energy that uplifts, motivates, and inspires, rather than allowing negativity or doubt to dominate. The small daily actions you take to nurture positivity compound over time, creating a powerful ripple effect that enhances your resilience, focus, and effectiveness in all areas of life. Positivity also comes from perspective. Even when circumstances are difficult, a positive outlook allows you to see opportunities rather than obstacles, lessons rather than failures, and growth rather than limitations. It encourages adaptability, creativity, and problem solving because a positive mindset is inherently solution-focused. When you view challenges as temporary, surmountable, and potentially beneficial, you empower yourself to take constructive action instead of being paralyzed by fear or frustration. This perspective transforms the way you experience setbacks and turns moments of struggle into opportunities for progress and personal development. Even if external support is absent, cultivating positivity helps you attract energy and relationships that align with your goals. People are naturally drawn to optimism, confidence, and hope. When you radiate positivity, it acts like a magnet, bringing opportunities, allies, and inspiration into your life. By generating your own positive energy, you reduce dependency on others and become more attracted to success because you operate from a place of abundance rather than lack. Self-generated positivity also fosters resilience. Life will inevitably challenge you, and there will be times when external validation is scarce or absent. In those moments, your inner positivity is what keeps you moving forward. It gives you strength when you feel weak, courage when you feel afraid, and clarity when confusion threatens to overwhelm you. The ability to maintain an optimistic and empowered mindset, even in isolation, ensures that you are never truly powerless, because you carry within you the tools, energy, and belief needed to persevere. Finally, surrounding yourself with positivity strengthens your ability to influence your own life. When you maintain a mindset of hope, confidence, and possibility, you are actively shaping the experiences you attract, the choices you make, and the results you achieve. You are creating a feedback loop of encouragement and progress that sustains itself even in the absence of external support. Positivity becomes not just a mood or feeling, but a strategy, a discipline, and a powerful source of inner strength that propels you forward toward your goals. Trust that your breakthrough is coming, no matter the timeline. Life has a way of testing our patience, challenging our faith, and stretching our endurance. At times, it may feel like you are running in circles, like progress is impossible, and like the world is moving forward while you remain stuck. These moments of waiting can be the most difficult, especially when you are putting in consistent effort, taking action, and doing everything in your power to create the life you want. Yet it is precisely during these times of apparent delay that the foundation for your breakthrough is being laid. Trust Trusting in your breakthrough means believing in the unseen, having faith in the process, and maintaining hope even when the results are not yet visible. It is a mindset that allows you to continue moving forward with confidence, knowing that your perseverance, commitment, and efforts are aligning to create the moment you have been waiting for. Trusting in your breakthrough requires patience. Patience is not passive, it is active. It is the steady determination to continue working toward your goals, even when circumstances seem stagnant. It is the understanding that success is rarely immediate, that the journey to your dreams is often winding, and that every setback, challenge, and moment of waiting is preparing you for the moment when everything aligns perfectly. Patience allows you to focus on your growth, on improving your skills, and on deepening your understanding, rather than becoming frustrated by the timeline. It transforms waiting from a period of doubt into a period of preparation, allowing you to step into your breakthrough stronger, wiser, and more capable than before. Belief in your breakthrough also demands unwavering faith in yourself. There will be moments when others question your vision, when circumstances seem to work against you, and when the noise of doubt threatens to drown out your inner voice. In these moments, the most powerful force is your own conviction. When you trust in your abilities, your resilience, and your determination, you are able to maintain momentum even when external validation is absent. This faith is not blind, it is rooted in your consistent actions, your lessons learned, and your unwavering commitment to your goals. Every effort you make, every challenge you overcome, and every step you take builds the evidence that your breakthrough is not just possible, but inevitable. Visualization and clarity are also key components of trusting in your breakthrough. When you maintain a clear vision of the life you are striving to create, it becomes easier to navigate the uncertainties of the journey. Visualizing your success allows your mind to focus on solutions, opportunities, and the path forward rather than on fear, doubt, or obstacles. It reinforces your belief that the results you desire are attainable and keeps you aligned with the actions needed to achieve them. This clarity, paired with trust, ensures that you remain directed, focused, and ready to seize the moment when your breakthrough arrives. Trusting in your breakthrough also means embracing resilience. Life will present obstacles, delays,